So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, you know, the reason is, it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick, and plus I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Bulumnaka, my name is Real, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7. Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
In this bulletin, 5 Australian tourists injured in boating accident in Upper Singatoka River. Man dies in drunken brawl on Wailolo Beach in Nandi. And elections office to investigate how Fijian man overseas received 2 postal ballot papers. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. 6 Australian tourists were airlifted to the Suva Private Hospital after a jet boat accident in Singatoka this morning. All of them are in stable condition and are extremely lucky to have escaped without serious injuries. We now join our journalist in the West, Christopher Chun, to give us an update on this story.
Yes, Jackie, we can confirm that 3 HeliPro Fiji helicopters were sent to rescue the 6 passengers at Singatoka Valley around 10 a.m. this morning. The 6 were a group of 2 families, 2 sisters, their husbands and daughters who were on the Singatoka River Safari jet boat. The 23-year-old boat captain escaped with minor injuries. It is believed the boat captain misjudged a turn and the jet boat hit a rock and tumbled over. We have been informed that one of them suffered a broken collarbone, 3 couldn't walk, while the rest suffered from minor concussions. Singatoka River Safari owner Jay White didn't want to release any information until their internal investigations are completed. He says their main concern is to ensure the tourists are safe.
Thanks for that update, Chris. A 61-year-old man died last night in a drunken brawl at Wailolo Beach in Nandi. According to police, the man caught a punch while trying to stop a fight during a drinking party. Rishika Kumar has the details.
Wailolo Beach is a popular drinking and picnic spot for many in the jet set town. From last night, it has been condoned off following the death of the 61-year-old man. It is alleged he was trying to stop a fight between the suspect and another man when he caught a punch.
To try and stop the fight, he was allegedly assaulted by the suspect, thus resulting in his death, but that is still to be confirmed as per the post-mortem results.
By the time help was sought from neighbors, the man had died. Police will be able to ascertain the cause of the death once they have the results from the post-mortem, which was conducted earlier today. Isoro says they can't confirm yet if the suspect is an inmate on the run, but confirms he is related to the deceased. 4 other people were part of the drinking party. Rashika Kumar, FBC News.
The Elections Office will investigate a case where a postal ballot paper was sent twice to an address in Melbourne, Australia. The matter was highlighted by the People's Democratic Party at a media conference today. Chanel Sivan with this story.
You see the waybill numbers, huh?
These are the waybills that the People's Democratic Party claim was sent to a Sarah Singh of Melbourne, Australia on 2 different dates. The party's leader Felix Anthony now wants an explanation from the Elections Office as to how 2 ballot papers were sent.
This raises questions as to how many more voters would be in the similar situation where they've received more than 1 ballot paper to vote, to cast their votes. Now, this is totally unacceptable. There is absolutely no excuse for such mistakes, if they are mistakes. And we demand an explanation for this.
Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Sanim says every postal voter will receive 1 ballot paper, and this is the first they have heard of someone receiving 2 ballot papers.
Our packaging ensures that 1 ballot paper goes per person, and This is first time I'm hearing this. And PDP is invited to forward to me if they have any proof of this, so that we can investigate. However, I can assure you that in the event any person tries to duplicate or send us a second ballot paper, it will be caught during the verification stage where we will be marking off the register as we get envelopes out.
The PDP says the way bills were sent direct from Sarah Singh.
I've received similar complaints from New Zealand as well. I've received calls, but I am not unable to get hold of the documents at this stage, but I'm sure I will do that at a later stage. But just so that I make the point, I produce the evidence before you to say this is one case that I have evidence and there's two waybill numbers on that. And the same person received one on the 30th of August, one on the 31st of August.
Meanwhile, the Supervisor of Elections says the political parties should directly come to him if they discover any discrepancies, rather than making public announcements to the media. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
And we're going to cross over live to our journalist, Chanel Sivan, who's with Election Supervisor Mohammed Saneem with an update on today's pre-polling. Chanel, what's the latest?
Jackie, we must understand that pre-polling is done in those areas also where there is geographical challenges. There was only one major issue today, and with me tonight we've got the Supervisor of Elections, Mr. Mohammed Saneem. Mr. Saneem, would you be able to tell us what happened in Vanwambalavu today?
The boat that was going to take all the polling staff to Vanwambalavu could not make it in time. We were facing difficulties due to rough seas, and we did not take any chances. We've moved the polling directly to next day, that's tomorrow.
And I believe there has been some developments in terms of the issuance of the voter identification cards?
Yes, we understand that elections is on 17th of September, that is Wednesday next week, and in regards to that we have organized to have teams to be stationed around the country in various locations that are widely accessed by public for them to be able to get their replacement of their voter ID cards, and also at the same centers members of the public can check their polling stations.
Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Back to you, Jackie.
Thanks for the update, Chanel. More and more people are turning up at pre-polling centres in villages and rural areas as the process rolls out all over Fiji. Watisoni Rakandroka was in Viwa Island, Tailevu this morning and files this report.
A 15-minute boat ride carrying the FBC news team and some political party officials brought us to Viwa near the Chifli island of Mau. Viwa, which is home to about 200 people and a place of significant history, was one of the pre-polling centers in the Tailevu province. This is where the missionary Reverend John Hunt first translated and printed the first Fijian New Testament Bible in 1874. A large number of registered votes joined a queue at the Viwa Community Hall to cast their votes, their first in 8 years. Amongst them a good number of first-time voters like Rusila.
I feel happy because this is the first time for me to vote and for me to choose what government to lead us.
The voters here are mainly villagers who depend on farming and fishing. For villagers like Cheke, they want a good leader.
We are struggle in the last 8 years. We are going afraid. What we gonna do? Because plenty changes. The way we go, especially the government. So we want to elect one good leadership to lead us on this situation. So I think God will bless the election in this year.
Here in Viwa Island today, the voters casted their votes hoping for a promising future. Watisoni Rekanroka, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, National Federation Party lodges complaint against Fiji First TV ads.
Bula FM namban doa na serane wasiningaw na ni batara ni sibiti ko bekian na diwa na tini na miniti na may pakuriti ole bengrabe na mantang nongo kanda na dabati ko ani no na kaloko ena kamen den deba bili na tengwali ni may dabati ko na wani matakabo kan leb sarti ko na bisere tali oni na namaka do batati ko may kinena kenan daw ro di kanamaki Bula binaka. Peo salamilawa. Do patakia wana pakatara newa ni vio na kaloko. Moni tiki na barumbuka. Ena Mbula FM nambang 2 ena seri.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The National Federation Party has lodged a complaint with the Electoral Commission saying Fiji First TV advertisements are in breach of the electoral decree. Party leader Professor Biman Prasad says the TV ads and media reports label the NFP as liars, and the matter has been brought to the attention of the Electoral Commission. Prasad claims there are also lies being spread about NFP going into a coalition with SODELPA.
We are solely fighting the election on our own, and our focus is to win the election on our own. So it is improper and misleading for the candidates of the Fiji First Party and the candidates of the Fiji Labour Party to go around and telling the people that NFP is in coalition with SODELPA. I think that's a lie. That's misleading the voters.
FBC TV says it is also running 8 commercials from the National Federation Party. Fiji First General Secretary Aya Said Kayum wasn't immediately available for a comment. The Chinese government today handed over more than 600 sewing machines to Fiji's Ministry of Women and Social Welfare. China's ambassador to Fiji, Huang Yong, handed over the donation to the Minister for Women, Dr. Chico Luveni. Sakiusa Naivusa has more.
The new sets of sewing machines will be distributed to various women's groups in the rural, peri-urban and informal settlements, giving them an opportunity to venture into self-employment. It adds onto the 2,200 other sewing machines donated by China over the years. The Minister for Women, Dr. Chico Luveni, says the impact the sewing machines have achieved in breaking news ground in Fiji is amazing.
A sewing center by the ministry to date has trained at least 67 disadvantaged women who have ventured into open market opportunities. 28 have taken jobs in the garment industry.
The Chinese ambassador says whether in Fiji or China, women's work is vital for the country.
We have assisted over 1,700 women's groups through sewing machines, and this has actually linked us up to all these women's groups throughout Fiji, from the north to the south, from the mountains to the coastlines. We have just a few more villages left in Ramba and Nandronga. You know, once with these 600 sewing machines will actually allow us to achieve our goal of providing 2 sewing machines to every women's group in the nation.
Wang Yong says the Chinese government has always willing to provide assistance for the welfare and happiness of the Fijian people. Sakusa Nevua, FBC News.
We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening. Coming up, Coach John McKee goes headhunting for Flying Fijians' end-of-year tour, and Ben Ryan prepares to name Final 7 squad. Details after the break.
How are you doing, Fiji? Yes, indeed, fast approaching, well, the major bulletin. But before we even talk about the major bulletin, what about my little news flash?
Oh my gosh, please don't let him get me started on that again.
Getting on the bus yesterday, and then he tells me, brother, move on to the other seat, because we can fit 2 people where you're sitting.
Hey, you can't blame the dude for being honest, okay?
There was nothing honest about what he said. Hi, I'm Phil.
And I'm Fina.
Your daybreak duo on Gold FM. From Mondays to Fridays.
From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Turn us on.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Flying Fijians coach John McKee jetted out to New Zealand today as part of his player identification process for the Europe Tour in November. While his focus is on the players featuring in the ITM Cup in New Zealand, he's also got his eye on a Fijian playing in France. Alipate Ratini looks set to make his debut for the national team in November. Indra Singh has more.
Une belle occasion pour Ratini. described in any language, its try-scoring prowess as such that has put France-based Alipate Raitini on the Flying Fijians wanted list.
Oh, look, he's been outstanding form at the start of the French top 14, and he's the top try scorer at this point. I think he's got 6 tries in 4 games, so he's had an outstanding start to the season, and certainly, they're very keen to have him probably, he's right in contention for the November tour.
The former Sevens international has had a stellar start to the new France T14 season, scoring spectacular tries for his club. He joins a list of players around the world who McKee wants to have in his squad.
Oh, look, the overseas players are very, very keen to play for Fiji. Obviously, with the Rugby World Cup next year, a lot of players want to put their hand up and try to make that squad, and they know that they have to be available this year to make the squad next year.
This includes Wellington prop Daniela Koroi, who has been impressing in the ITM Cup in New Zealand.
As obviously as front row player, very much of interest to us.
The FRU is also happy with the work that is being put in by McKee and his team in the build-up to November.
Mr. McKee has communicated with all the clubs in Europe where our players are playing at for the Northern Tour.
It's all about assembling the best team, and November is just part of the bigger puzzle. The icing on the cake will be the 2015 Rugby World Cup, where we want to have the likes of Raitini burning the opposition. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team started its second week of training today in Pacific Harbour. Coach Ben Ryan says this is an important week as he will be naming his reduced squad on Friday. He says one area which has impressed him is the physical attributes of the Rips.
But we are a lot better, and I'm really encouraged by probably the increase in size that we've got. I think we also lacked last year a couple of hard men, maybe. That occasionally I thought we got bullied a little bit, particularly against New Zealand, and so I think that was another thing I had to solve, and the group of players that we've got now I think won't be taking any backward steps this year, and we have got that hard edge.
Fiji's first assignment in the IRB series will be at the Gold Coast tournament on October 11th and 12th. The Oceania Under-19 Basketball Championship in December will see some exceptional young talent on display at the Vodafone Arena in Suva. As the host nation, the Fiji men's Under-19 side is putting extra effort into training to claim the title for the home crowd. Chalen Daudakadaka has more.
These 22 players are in a tight race to make the 10-member squad for the Oceania Championship. Officials are confident that they have selected the best players possible from the recent secondary schools competition.
The selection was really tough because we've been trying to pick select teams from the West and here in Suva. Not only the West, it's like when I'm saying the West in Lautoka. We pick players right from Xavier College, another Tilak in Lautoka, and majority of them here in Suva, which is Yetsen, Maris and LDS.
Playing in front of their home crowd will present a different challenge for these youngsters, all of whom will be representing the country for the first time.
We're planning to win gold in this Oceania. Since we're hosting, we've been telling the boys we are hosting. There'll be pressure on us, and in order to relieve the pressure, we have to do our part in the court. Do our part to make Fiji proud in this December.
Fiji will be up against regional giants Australia, New Zealand, Tahiti and New Caledonia. The winner will earn a place in the World Championship in Greece next year. Chalen Daudakadaka, FBC Sports.
The Senganga Under-14 soccer team has arrived in Suva and is ready to battle in the primary school's inter-district tournament, which gets underway tomorrow. The Northerners know it will not be an easy task and they want their hard work to pay dividends. Rohit Deo caught up with the team at training.
They have come here with a dream and will be looking at putting up a good challenge. The team knows that their journey to date has been difficult and it isn't going to get any easier.
It is very difficult to get a team from Senganga because looking at our distance, the schools are scattered away and then we have to get the players, train them, and it is very costly affair. We don't have any sponsors. We are coming on our own cost. The players are paying their own fare and the coaches and the management team, they are paying their own fare to be over here.
There are 5 12-year-old players in this Under-14 squad and one of them has big dreams to play at top level in the future.
I'd like to be Krishna and I'd like to play in Lambasa team.
Zumir adds he has high hopes for his team.
I came for my team and I hope that we'll take the trophy back.
Senganga will be one of the 4 northern teams trying to win the under-14 title at the primary school's IDC, which kicks off tomorrow at the ANZ Stadium. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The National Men's Open Touch Rugby side is facing a steep challenge in order to participate at the 2015 Touch Football World Cup. The team needs a financial boost to cover its expenses for the World Meet to be played in Australia in April. Chalen Daudakadaka has the details.
The Fiji men's touch rugby side is on a major fundraising drive in order to participate in the World Cup next year. Each player needs to raise at least $3,000 to cover costs for the trip to Australia.
We've got the boys working overtime on our fundraisings. We also looking to get corporate sponsors in. We have put out some proposals to a few companies, and they have been very good with their responses in supporting us, yes. Although we are still waiting for some of those funds to come in.
Fiji is grouped alongside some of the top teams in the world, which presents an even bigger challenge for the team.
It's South Africa, England, France, and the champs, Australia. This is what the teams that we, because these are the teams that we lost in the last World Cup.
The national side is looking to field 6 teams in the men's, women's and age grade divisions in the World Tournament at Coffs Harbour in April 2015. Those are all plans, as that can only eventuate if the dollars roll in. Chalen Daudakadaka, FBC Sports.
And that was your sports news for tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Fiji National Provident Fund Chief Executive Aisake Taito has confirmed that renovations are underway at the Yatule Beach Resort in Singatoka. The subsidiary of the FMPF was constructed in 2005 and had been running at a loss since its inception. According to Taito, the upgrade of the facilities will attract more visitors, resulting to positive returns for the resort. The resort is closed for renovations until the end of next month. Weather time now with Trish.
Thanks, Jackie. Those clouds remained over Suva for most of the days. There were clear skies in all other centers. Suva recorded 26 degrees at 3 p.m. today. Temperatures were slightly higher with Nandi at 29 degrees, Lautoka 31, Ba 32, Savu Savu 27. Mombasa recorded the highest temperature of 33 degrees. Expect overcast conditions tomorrow, and that's right across all the centers. A strong wind warning remains in force for all Fiji waters. Expect southeast winds 20 to 25 knots and rough seas. Our photo of today is from Namelala Island, just off the coast of Savu Savu. You can also send us your scenic photos from around the country, and we will show them off to the world. The address is citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Recapping our top stories tonight. 6 Australian tourists injured in boating accident in Upper Singatoka River. Man dies in drunken brawl on Wailolo Beach in Nandi. And Elections Office to investigate how Fijian man overseas received 2 postal ballot papers. Now time for the Fijian Speak segment.
I think the Fiji first. I think Sorulpa will win.
Tonight is the last night that we will run this opinion poll. The electoral decree prohibits us from publishing results of election-related opinions on the polls on any day during the 7 days prior to the polling day and on the polling day until the close of polling at all polling stations. Meanwhile, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You can also find us on YouTube, FBC TV 2011, or on Instagram, FBC TV. And to receive the latest headlines on your mobile phone, Take subspace FBC to 777. That's news for tonight. Join the team and I again tomorrow evening at the same time. Good evening.